Going on to the culture part of the podcast, you have LibertySafe betraying their consumers in favor of the government. Wow. Perhaps one of the most moronic things to do when you're a safe company is to hand over the keys and acquiesce and build a backdoor for government entities. Which also, there's a myriad of reasons that's not good for security in terms of, well, now everyone who can access LibertySafe can now get the codes. Let me dive deep. So they did post two things on Twitter to clarify, and this one they deleted. So let's see here. I want to read the one they deleted first, and they actually, for this one, I believe they disabled the comments, then subsequently deleted it. So this one is, again, this is a tweet from LibertySafe, which I used to respect. American-made, great company. I mean, really strong safes. You can customize them however you want. I mean, I think they start at $1,200 and go up to like $12,000 plus. I mean, you could customize it like a Porsche. Now, in hindsight, I'm glad I never invested in one of them. I was actually thinking of getting one of them, but actually having to go to a different brand. Thankfully, I believe they made the right decision to protect my documents and such. Now, this is again from Liberty, sent September 5th. It said, quote, LibertySafe is devoted to protecting the personal property and the Second Amendment rights of our customers and has repeatedly denied requests for access codes without a warrant in the past. We do not give out combinations without proper legal documentation being provided by authorities. We regularly update our policies to ensure both compliance with federal and state law and reasonable customer privacy protections within the law. First and foremost, LibertySafe is committed to preserving our customers' rights, and we will remain unwavering in those values. Now, I'm not too surprised they deleted it because they were so viscerally roasted or ratioed, as the youth might say on the Twitter, and there are issues with what they said in and of itself. Well, why do you have those codes? Why do you still have them? What's the purpose? Well, I would say there's no good reason to have them. Now, this is the one that is still, as for now, still on the Twitter. And again, this is within one day. You got 12.2 million views, which ironically is probably the best. It's the most popular advertising the company has ever had since, I believe, Demolition Ranch actually used a tank to shoot some of their safes, which is good advertisement. But it's not good when the most viral thing about your company is overwhelming negative. And this is something, in terms of politically speaking, it is actually a unification. People on the left and the right, everyone is concerned about their privacy. And even though they're known for being a gun safe manufacturer, I know many people who have bought their safes for legal documentation. Because again, they're fire resistant depending on what state, what business you're in. You have to hold on to documents. Well, every business actually has to hold on to documents in terms of receipts for 7 years for the IRS for compliance reasons. And depending on what industry you're in, you might have additional documentation that you have to legally store and protect. So there were people who were buying this for a myriad of reasons. Now, this is their little tweet, and they say, quote, on August 30, 2023, LibertySafe was contacted by the FBI requesting the access code to the safe of an individual for whom they had a warrant to search their property. Our company protocol is to provide access codes to law enforcement if the warrant grants them access to the property. After receiving this request, we received proof of the valid warrant, and only then did we provide them with an access code. LibertySafe had no knowledge of any details surrounding the investigation at that time. LibertySafe is devoted to protecting their personal property and Second Amendment rights of its customers and repeatedly denied requests for access codes without a warrant in the past. We do not give out combinations without proper legal documentation being provided by authorities. We regularly update our policies to ensure both compliance with federal, state law, and reasonable consumer privacy protections within the law. First and foremost, LibertySafe is committed to preserving unwavering those values, unquote. So I do apologize. I actually do a correction on air. It looks like the thing I thought they deleted was a snapshot. So it was actually improperly cropped out. So it looks like the whole documentation has that little preface on the front. Now, this begs the question, why do you have those access codes to begin with? If someone is buying a safe, why would you still have the access codes? And apparently this is both for the digital as well as the good old-fashioned rotating style or mechanical style locks. Now that tweet got 12.2 million views, which is a good number of views, and they got 1,432 likes, which subsequently I could only guess there were feds that were liking it. And that's a 0.012% like ratio. Now, it looks like some of the top responses were one from Walleyes, Whitetails, and Whiskeys saying, quote, so let me get this straight. When my safe was locked up and Liberty's customer service told me to hire a locksmith, but they had a code and could have given it to the consumer and didn't, unquote. Now, that was subsequently liked by millions of people. And someone else, you have Colin Rugg. His response got, oh dear, that's quite a few. So this is Colin Rugg. I'll read his response really quick. He says, quote, again, it's from Colin Rugg, R-U-G-G. He says, quote, new, America's top gun safe manufacturer, libertysafe, gave the FBI an access code to a safe owned by someone who was present at the January 6th protest. We have officially found the Bud Light of gun safes. Enjoy going out of business, libertysafe. The situation is even worse. On August 30th, 2023, the FBI raided the owner of the safe, Arkansas man Nathan Hughes, who is a friend of the Hodge twins. Not only did they access his safe, but the FBI also allegedly turned off his home security cameras and held his girlfriend at gunpoint. In a statement from libertysafe confirmed they gave the FBI Hughes code. Quote, libertysafe was contacted by the FBI requesting the access code to the safe of an individual of whom they had a warrant to search their property. libertysafe is devoted to protecting blah, blah, Second Amendment lies. So another issue is there's a big difference between having a warrant for a property and then having a warrant specifically to access a safe on the property. And a lot of people in the comments are subsequently agreeing with that statement. Now, this comment by Colin Rugg got 6.8 million views and 46,000 likes. Oh, that's gotta be the ratio of the year. So libertysafe got 1,432 likes. This guy, again, this is all within 24 hours. This guy got 46,000 likes. Quite an impressive discrepancy. Now, granted, 46,000 out of 6.8 million is 0.67%, but even then, that's a better ratio. Now, you also have Tim Pool, who tweeted, quote, I don't care that libertysafe gave codes to the feds. I care that they had codes in the first place. libertysafes are completely worthless, unquote. Very true. He got 1.4 million views and 23.3 thousand likes. And again, I think that's the big issue is why do they still have the codes? That defeats the entire purpose of a safe. Now, to me, there's two reasons that I'm irate and a little disappointed in this company. Firstly, they're supposed to be proud, Second Amendment, American, made in the USA, great company, and they easily acquiesce to the government. They could just tell the government, piss off. That's what Apple did. The government wanted Apple to build a skeleton key, or basically a way to break into every phone. Now, Apple, again, they're smarter than these morally depraved, mentally vacuous morons at libertysafe. Apple realized once you create a key or a backdoor to get in somewhere, then it just opens up the Pandora's box. Everyone wants it. People will steal for it. Now, when it comes to this, what if I want to break into someone's safe? Well, I can just break into libertysafe. I'm going to make some blanket statements when it comes to manufacturers in terms of, based on this company size, I could probably gauge their IT cybersecurity spend. Now, you could probably, no, I shouldn't say probably. You could easily, with the right resources, break into their system. And then all of a sudden, what if a hacker gets access to all of those access codes? And it's probably based on a serial number. There has to be some way to correlate it with the person. All of a sudden, then you have that data. So instead of doing it, now criminals can break in there, break into libertysafe's database, find out the access codes, find out the address where the safe is, and they, instead of having to spend hours, or sometimes, depending on the skill level of the person breaking into the safe, days, they just stake out a home because they know the address, and then when the person leaves, they have the code. They walk in, or presumably they break into the house, punch in the code, easily steal whatever you have in there, and walk away scot-free. Now, Apple was smart. They denied that request by the FBI. They said, we're not going to build you a skeleton key to break into this phone because it obsoletes all of our security features. People respected Apple much, much more after that. I know people who bought iPhones because of that integrity, because of that stance on cybersecurity. This company, and again, I know people use these safes for many reasons, but I'd say more often than not, they are gun safe. And to just completely acquiesce and bend the knee like this, I can't help but think they're going out of business. Let me know in the comments, are their sales going to go down what? 70%? 80%? 90%? No one who believes in the Second Amendment is buying their safes anymore. Guaranteed. And their competition is getting smart. The competition, I believe, is Secure ID. There's a competing safe company that just hours after this happened, they said, they proudly proclaimed, We do not keep that code. It is your safe, it is your property, your business. Now that's marketing A plus, because not only are they differentiating themselves from the competition, they're actually standing for integrity, and people are going to respect the hell out of that. I can't help but help the competition. I can't help but think the competition is going to just double their sales. This is going to be Bud Light 2.0, because again, there are many options for safes, and a safe is something where you do a lot of research to go into it. Because again, some people are spending thousands, $1,200, $1,200. I mean, I think they start at $1,200. They go all the way up to $15,000 plus. Like many things in life, you can spend as little as you want or as much as you want. When it comes to spending money for a premium made in the USA safe, you're already spending a premium. You're doing more research. This is going to show up in everyone's blogs. This is going to show up in everyone's reviews. There are already people talking about how to bastardize their safes, or in this case, make it better, ripping out the locking mechanism and putting in a competitor's locking mechanism. So then they still have the Liberty Safe shell. So they have some of the next construction Liberty Safe, but they have a third-party lock put in there. So that way they can put this concern to bed because someone else doesn't have the access code. This is completely unacceptable for a manufacturer. It's one of those things where, especially now, you have the FBI allegedly turned off the cameras, held a girlfriend at gunpoint. How many people trust the government these days? It's become increasingly politicized. I don't know anyone who could deny that. Well, actually, I don't know anyone rational who would deny that these days. And a lot of these people who are buying these safes, presumably, they believe in the Fourth Amendment. So, again, you would need a specific, again, this is my understanding of the legality for the situations, you would need a specific piece of documentation, a specific warrant to go for this safe in particular. Just getting a warrant for the property is a little bit different. They can just go search your front lawn, they can go to your house a little bit. I think it's a different legal barrier. And it's also the spirit of the situation, as well as this whole security boondoggle. They still have, to have those access codes, that's ridiculous and unacceptable. And it sounds like it affects all their safes. So I can't think of a way they can make the situation better. Those are already people critiquing them brutally online. The reviews are declining precipitously. Let me know in the comments, would you ever buy a Liberty safe after this news? I sure wouldn't. My business, or at least my IT company, we bought a different safe to store our legal, because again, you have to store receipts for 7 years for the IRS for compliance reasons. We chose a different manufacturer, which again had a great fire safe rating, great made in the USA. So I don't think their sales are going to do, they might go out of business. Because again, this is something where you're not just pissing off one side of the political aisle. This is it's a unified protest or boycott, so to say. Because people on the left, they are very concerned about their privacy. They have valuable tools. There's a lot of closet gun owners on the left as well, politically speaking. There's a lot of people who want to protect their valuables, their family heirlooms. They're not going to appreciate that. Again, there's a backdoor, not just for the government, but again, if hacker breaks into Liberty Safe, and now they have access codes to everything. That no one is going to like the situation, except perhaps the 1,400 people, the 1,432 people who liked the Liberty Safe tweet, who again, I can't help but think, probably government employees, but that's just my 3 cents of the day. Will they go out of business? I think it's going to drop their sales by at least 75%. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone again for taking the time to tune in. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of September. I know it's a tall order, but every click counts. Also, I especially appreciate you taking the time to like and comment. Feedback is always important. It helps the channel grow and develop. It even helps me improve everything from slowing down my speech to trying to be more concise with my speech and try to articulate so you can actually hear me a majority of the time. And my goal is to keep improving that skill set throughout the show. Also, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.